G'day, it's Simon and James. It has been 3 weeks since our last South OC Cars and Coffee video walk. I've been away, you've been away, we're back here, and a crazy morning. It is a long weekend here in the US, and there's some cool stuff that's turned up. What are you seeing?
We've got some cool stuff. A Pagani Huayra Roadster just pulled in, which is just like the perfect spec. Yeah. We have a ton of Ferraris, ton of Lambos, ton of just pretty much everything that you guys could possibly want to see. We have a Mercy SV here, a ton of 3RSs. It's just a really, really good day. What have you seen? Yeah, there's some quirky stuff, like a sort of NASCAR-ish land speed car that I saw over the other side, which is kind of cool. All sorts of crazy stuff. Hey, don't forget, if you're coming to South OC Cars and Coffee, please remember, respect our rules. No speeding, no revving, no burnouts. That includes getting on off the freeways, on the freeways, and the streets of San Clemente as well. All right, mate, tons to see. Let's go for a walk and check some stuff out. Let's do it. Starting off strong on the exotics row, we have this beautiful Pagani Huayra Roadster. This thing is absolutely stunning. Finished in half exposed carbon fiber and then a metallic silver as well. You can see this car is just absolutely nuts. So wide, powered by the twin turbo V12. We see an active roof scoop on the roof here. Crazy carbon, these active flaps in the back, and the beautiful titanium exhaust. One of my absolute favorite hypercars, and an awesome way to start off this event. Something very quirky and interesting in the front row, we have a Noble M400. This, of course, being the rear engine twin turbo V6 edition of this car. It is absolutely beautiful. From my understanding, these cars are hand built in the UK, make around 400-ish horsepower. Looks like a 6-speed, made it to either a 5 or a 6-speed manual, but a true race car. This thing is absolutely stunning and not something that you see every day. Here we have the all-new 296 GTB, this one being a very interesting spec. You can see the flat gray with the yellow stripes on the front. A very interesting spec. This is kind of one of the first times that I've seen that on this specific car. You can see on the inside we have a tan interior. No bucket seats, which I find interesting. Normally you see these with the Daytona seats. What do we think about this car? Do you think that it's a little underwhelming after the previous generation with the V8 now moving into the 6-cylinder hybrid, or are you kind of excited to see where this goes? I think it's going to be interesting to see the later versions of this car. Very, very cool. Now this is a car that I think deserves some more love. The coveted SLS AMG, the last of its kind, the big NA V8 in the front, the gull wing doors, just a beautiful car all around. I absolutely love this. You can see it's a true gull wing, not one of the convertibles that you see pretty frequently. These ones are actually quite rare. You can see the red and black interior. Just such a pretty car, sleek, elegant, timeless. I'm really interested in what these are going to be worth in a few years. Now this is something I didn't expect to see this morning. So as you guys know, the AMG GT is the standard kind of front engine V8 supercar from Mercedes, but this is the new GT63, which is replacing both the AMG GT as well as the 4-door 63. So you can see they merged the two, and now it's a bit more bulbous than the AMG GT. It does have back seats, unlike the predecessor, but it's a very, very interesting looking car. You can see it's a little higher off the ground than the previous generation, has a lot of the same styling features, that same V8, but it's very, very interesting. What do you guys think of this? Here we have two perfect 992 turbos side by side, very different specs. So the first off is the Shark Blue with buckets. Now I've never seen buckets in a turbo, but I think this is absolutely stunning. I'm not sure if you could option it with the buckets or if you'd have to retrofit it afterwards. Then moving on to the next car over here, we have a beautiful metallic gray, and this isn't just any 992 turbo, it has the perfect interior, the caramel with the houndstooth. Absolutely lovely, just an insane PTS car. Pretty much every box checked for this option. I think it's an aero pack as well, judging by that kind of larger wing in the back, but very, very pretty cars.
Beautiful Aventador SVJ. I still love these cars. They are absolutely timeless. You know, given how long this particular body style's been around, I still think they look amazing. I was in Italy a couple of weeks ago and was actually at Bologna and went to the Lamborghini Museum. Got back to the airport a few days later and they actually had the new Lamborghini, the replacement of this, and I'll drop some shots in over the top. The Revolto, if I probably pronounced that wrong. But anyway, beautiful car still, but I'll tell you what, this thing doesn't look at all outdated, and it certainly doesn't look as if the new one is stylishly any better, but just different. It would be remiss of me if I didn't show this, at least for Sarah, who's the biggest fan of the Defenders. This one in particular, have a look under the hood. I don't believe it came with a Corvette engine. This looks like it's an LT1, the motor that's used in the current model Camaro, and also obviously the Corvette C7 as well. And that's a kind of cool thing, because they weren't known for being ultimately very reliable. I hope the rest of the electrics are fixed. Is this yours? This is pretty special. Let's have a look on the inside.
You're gonna get your socials.
There we go. Look at that beautiful interior in this, diamond stitched, really nice, very nicely done. All the interior that's been done in here with the center console and everything, and the dash. This, if you guys could smell the smell in there, this smells absolutely wonderful. Look, there's a console going all the way through. Have you built this to sell it, or have you just built it for yourself?
It's my father's.
It's your father's. Now the question is this: has that beautiful LT1, I'm thinking, is under the hood, correct?
Yep.
What transmission does it have? The same?
I could not tell you.
It's probably the same one they put in the Camaro. The question is this: did he replace the electrics, or is it still British electrics?
It's all brand new frame up from a company down in Florida called ECD, East Coast Defenders.
There we go, down
Right
there.
there.
Yep.
So on their website, you probably get all their info.
This is pretty cool. Love all the instrumentation and everything as well. Like all through here is beautiful. Hey, it's a great looking vehicle, mate, and
Thank you.
I'm sure it's great to drive as well. The best of both worlds. I'd much prefer this to the new one, which I don't call a Defender, I call that a Pretender or an Offender, one of the two, but this is absolutely brilliant. Once again, we have filled both lots. This is the overflow lot, as you can see, full. Other side's full as well. That means we've got about 1,200 cars here this morning, which is absolutely great.
Going mainstream. I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so I'm going mainstream. Yeah, I'm going mainstream. Flow like water, so
What a classic old Volvo we have here. Look at this thing. Absolutely beautiful. Just, this car has obviously been meticulously restored. Look at the interior. The seats are beautifully done. Dash is all resprayed. You know, it's one of these cars that you either love them or you hate them, and I love them. I think they're great. Great to see something a little different. Great color. Who owns this? Good job. How long have you had it? Took you a year and a half? It looks great. So great looking car. Once again, something you don't see every day, but isn't it great just seeing something a little different? You want to pop the hood and show us? Look at that. Good job. Couple of twin SUs underneath there. Really good. Good job. Sponsors row through here. First of all, VinFast. These guys are an amazing EV manufacturer out of Vietnam, doing some incredible work. Beautiful cars, just amazingly engineered. Check them out, VinFast. Next to it, we have iAccident. These guys, accident attorneys, having a bit of fun here with their wheel. Next to it, we got the guys from Hemmings. If you have a classic car, a muscle car, exotic car, you want to sell it or you want to buy it, make sure to check out Hemmings, and they can make things happen for you. Next level auto protection. These are the guys that I use to do PPF, paint protection, ceramic coat on my car, do an amazing job. Check them out. Great work, guys. And as we roll through here, we've got Mazda, brand new. This is actually a hybrid version of their CX-70, and I love the little awning that's out from them as well. They're doing some great work. And then down the end here, we got Woodside Credit as well. If you want to finance the vehicle, make sure to check these guys out. Got some really interesting low payment terms. One of our previous car of the week winners. This car belongs to Jim. How great is this? This is a little Lotus Cortina. Notice it doesn't have your standard inline 4-cylinder that used to come out in these early Cortinas. That's because this is kind of special. So back in the day, you imagine this, Ford wants to go out, they want to rally some cars, they want a performance car, and this is, in the UK at least, this is what they turn to. We actually had these in Australia as well. So this wonderful little twin cam motor derived by Lotus, of course. They're also known for great suspension. They did all of that with this car as well. A couple of twin Webers on there, side drafts, which made this thing special, but lots of little different things. Everything from you know, the dash, everything, the stripes, badging. This is a really, really special car, and once again, it's not something you see every day, which is one of the reasons I love it. Heard this 77 Trans Am pull in, it sounded so tough. under the hood. I love seeing this old school small block under here, but looking so tough. Aluminum heads, high-rise manifold under there, and then these really nice machined valve covers on there as well. But it's interesting, you know, it's still running like a Holly under there. It's not running a fuel injection system like a lot of cars would do. A spacer plate. It looks like nitrous under there as well. This is a very, very tough looking car. Nice wheels, big Willwood brakes under there, full cage, good seats. Still got that original looking knurled finish dash, but it's got new Autometer Sportcom gauges in there as well, and running a 6-speed manual, so obviously a newer gearbox as well. This thing is super cool, love it. Okay, so here's another car you don't see every day. This is a little tiny little Wasley. If it looks familiar, it's because basically, think about this, it's a Mini with extended rear panels, and it's kind of the upmarket version. You know, British Leyland had a whole lot of different makes. They had Morris, they had Leyland, they had BMC, all these different things, and a Wasley was one of those particular cars. Under the hood is a 1000cc, same motor you'd find in a Mini, essentially the same motor you'd even find in something like an MG, running in a single SU carb underneath there. You know, one of the biggest faults that these things had, notice where the distributor cap is and where the coil is. Water would go straight in the front and then flood that thing. They actually made a waterproofing kit. They also had troubles with overheating as well, because notice the fan, the radiators on the side, it's either trying to push air through the wheel arch. I think it's trying to push, not, so air's going through, not trying to pull it through, but interesting. So under there, it looks exactly the same as a Mini. Different, obviously, hood with the grille, different front end. Front fenders look the same, side windows look the same, this sort of era, sort of 60s era. The other thing that's different, it's actually got a leather interior. The original Minis had a vinyl interior, so this is leather, but the dashboard, it's got a wooden dash. Instrumentation is basically what they'd use in a Cooper S, so you've got extra gauges in there. The original Mini Deluxe, etc., just had a single speedo underneath there. So same sort of interior. Come at the back here though, notice this, it's extended. A standard Mini would stop here. This has got the same wheelbase, same hydroelastic suspension, but the back end of it's slightly different as well. Little Wolseley Hornet Mark II. So another time of seeing a car you don't normally see. We see lots of Minis, but not very often we'd see something like this little Wolseley. Still right-hand drive as well from the UK. This is a super pretty 356. Just little details on it. Like, notice the mesh here, so it's kind of resto mod. Look at this up here. It's got a mirror sitting up on the side, beautiful interior. Love the fact that the seats are actually stamped with the Porsche logo. Wood rim steering wheel, those original gauges. Then come at the back, the motor is so neat on this thing. It looks like it's just rolled off the factory floor. Lovely, lovely on every angle. It's interesting because it kind of looks stock, but it's got a roll cage, it's got those harnesses, it's got this bigger, almost look like a bigger fuel tank in here, and then just the little touches like the mesh in there. I really like this, very tastefully done.
Rages around like an ocean in my head. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that it's not reality. If you are echoing,
you know, you think of retro style cars, you can think of things like the Mustang became retro, the Camaro became retro with the Gen 5. Ford even did a version of the T-Bird as well, of course. And then there were some strange things, I guess, like the PT Cruiser. But this in Japan was Nissan's answer to a kind of retro car. This is a little tiny Nissan Figaro, and if you look at it, it is absolutely tiny, but it's got all of those cool sort of retro stylings, like those sort of painted hubcaps. Even the interior kind of looks retro as well. So it wasn't just the US that was doing retro cars, even in Japan they got in on the action. In the late 80s, if you wanted some fast American muscle, then this is probably one of the things on your wish list if you're a Ford guy. This is Saleen Mustang, and it belongs to one of my best friends, Pete. He started sending me photographs of this last week, saying, I bought a new car, and Pete's known to buy a few different things that are interesting, and this one, I think, this is one of the ones at the top of the list. If it looks like it's brand new, it's not because this thing has gone through any sort of refurbishment. It's because if you look at the speedo in there, 7,632 original miles in this thing. I mean, look at that interior, these lightweight headrests at the time. This is a really, really special car. It's great seeing these at the show because they're like time capsules. The wheels are beautiful, the stripes, I mean, this thing's so period correct. What a great find, something that's this original with such low miles.
Coming just like the sunrise. You know that we're gonna light it up tonight. We're gonna light it up, babe. Tonight we're gonna light it up just like the sunrise. We're gonna light it up.
This is the car I was talking about, the introduction land speed car. A little bit of engineering in this. The pipes out the side are a bit of a giveaway, but have a look at underneath here. A very tough twin turbo here, a turbo over that side, decent sized turbos might I add. Polyfire intake, massive plenum on the top as well. Then this high-rise manifold. This thing is super, super tough. Fuel regulator, pressure regulator in here. This thing is absolutely incredible. All the framework on it and everything is just so well engineered. Amazing, like roll cage and everything. It's like looking inside of a NASCAR, but obviously land speed car's got to be a lot different to a NASCAR. But everything's about driver safety. All that roll cage, looks like fuel cell on the back. This thing is pretty amazing. And then of course a parachute. No, fuel cell's back here. That might have been like an ice chest to cool everything down. One of these two could be that one as well. That's probably for ice in there to get everything cool too. But absolutely incredible looking thing. Just amazing. Strap yourself in it, do 200 plus mile an hour on a salt flat or equivalent.
Over the edge, feel like I'm floating through the air. The pain I felt is paid for, all is said and done. Oh, I am restricted, fixed.
Couple of clean 1956 F100s here. First one, still running that Ford small block under there, but super neat, super clean, Ford racing valve covers and everything. I'm guessing how neat it looks, at maybe a crate motor, but aftermarket intake manifold. Beautiful interior in it, really nice steering wheel, beautiful wheels on the back, wood grille, very cool. And then next to it over here, this beautiful blue one, which looks like it's that classic Mustang colour from the late 60s, early 70s. Once again, I love the lines, I love the step side tray on it. And one of the things that they changed from 55 to 56 is they went to this wraparound windshield here on 56, which is cool. Notice here, that's very cool, 429. Yes, there's a big block underneath there, which means this thing is probably super, super tough. Very, very cool. And then jumping brands next to it, look at that. Got a really nice Chevy C10, I guess it is, sitting next to it as well. Slammed, obviously running air ride or something. Looks really good. 3 great trucks in a row. The great cars in a Rockwell row Mustang, beautiful 56 Chevy here, but this one caught my eye. This is a great looking Ford truck we've had here before, basically set up as a drag car. Have a look at all the frame, the suspension, and a tough motor, high-rise manifold, couple of Demon carbs up underneath there. This thing is super, super tough. Look at the size of the exhaust coming out of here, and then as we get on the inside, thank you so much for doing that. Look at that, running some Autometer Pro Comp gauges underneath there. Automatic, obviously being a drag car, got the kill switch over the other side. Look at the roll cage all trimmed in leather. I mean, the thing is, it's sort of designed to be comfortable, but also a drag car. And then come around the back, have a look at the rubber on this thing. they weld racing wheels underneath there, and then fuel cell back here. But look at all the subframe and everything. Oil or is that trans-cooler or engine oil cooler back there? Trans-cooler back in there. Massive 9-inch diff sitting in here, huge tail shaft loop. Everything on this 4-link suspension. This thing is super, super tough. Man, this is cool. Thank you so much for bringing it out. Very tough.
That is it for a busy Memorial Day weekend here at South OC Cars and Coffee. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in. Please remember, if you're coming to South OC Cars and Coffee, no revving, no speeding, and no burnouts. That includes on the property, driving through the streets of San Clemente, and then getting on and off those freeways. I want to say a massive thank you to all the sponsors. We have them brackets here: Huayra Marketing, Meguiar's, Hemmings, PDM Brands, Next Level Auto Protection, Happy Jewelers, Carbon-tastic, Mountain View Adventure Vehicles, Alpha Towing, and then One of One Vans as well. And then I want to say a massive thank you to all the volunteers for helping us out each and every week. We could not put on this show without them. Remember, if you want to become a volunteer, hit us up on Instagram at South OC Cars and Coffee Merch. So we handle all the volunteer rostering, and then while you're over there, check out some of the new merch we have. We have the hoodies, hats, t-shirts, everything that you guys could possibly want. If you're volunteering at South OC Cars and Coffee, you get to bring your car in before 8:30 when we open, and then Ruby's Diner does provide a free coffee and donut for everyone helping us out as well.
Yeah, big thank you to Ruby's for doing that, and also feeding the masses, and also to the outlets of San Clemente for allowing us to be here. Remember, if you want to do any shopping, go to the movies, go to a restaurant, come to the outlets, tell them South OC Cars and Coffee sent you. Well, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. We'll see you back here next week for another South OC Cars and Coffee.
Thanks, guys.